Howdy, folks, and welcome back. Hope you guys are all blessed and doing okay out there. Well, for today's video, I present to you There Goes a Fire Truck Reaction and Review. This is going to be one of several videos as a dedication and tribute to somebody who had a huge impact on my life and shaped my childhood, and I'm sure he did for a lot of you guys too. This goes out to Dave Hood, the man behind the live-action video for kids, also known as the Real Wheels series, or if you like me, you called it the There Goes a Video series. This was the first program he released back in 1993, teaches you about firefighting, and takes place at the Ontario Fire Department in California. Excuse me while I wet my whistle, guys. I can't talk. There I go again, stuttering. Hang on, folks. There we go. This was not the first one I saw, though, and I didn't know it was the first one until like years later. I think the first one I saw was either There Goes a Train or There Goes a Bulldozer. Anyway, let's take a look at this gem from the past, and if you guys remember it, let me know. And if you hear any background noise, that's just my fiance cooking food. He's making phlegm tonight. Yummy. Anyway, here we go. Oh, whoop! Disclaimer. I am not paid, sponsored, or endorsed to make this video. I do not take credit for this video, nor do I own the rights to this program I am showing. This is being done for fun, entertainment, historical, and preservation purposes only, along with education. All rights belong to Real Wheels and the company behind it, which I think is live action video for kids. This is a tribute to Dave Hood, no more, no less. Alright, let's take a look. This is nostalgic right here, guys. Toy fire trucks.
Kids love to play with fire trucks. But have you ever wondered what it would be like to be a real firefighter?
Did any of you guys have toy trucks like that when you were a kid? I had the red and white Tonka fire truck growing up, and I also had a couple of ambulances and a police car. Seeing this makes me nostalgic. It had 4 buttons and made sound effects. Years later, I found one at the train show for $10. I regret not buying it. If I come across one, I'm going to get it and have my own little rescue vehicle collection. Awesome opening. Cool. Fireboats. You don't see those anymore. Fire poles. Airport fire truck. Another thing I want to point out is, unless if you've seen these programs from the 90s, you would not be able to get away with today because of how these generations have changed and gotten more sensitive. Dave got away with doing a lot of stuff back then because this was also the pre-9/11 era. So being able to do something like this is pretty neat. I haven't seen any modern firefighting programs for kids. I've seen old ones like this one. There's also fire trucks in action. There's one called Big Red. In the theaters I have seen growing up, and they always show fires and firefighters putting out fires and rescuing people. I don't know how they do it today, but back then, you could do this all you wanted to. With permission, of course.
Kids, I'm Fireman Dave. Well, I'm not really a firefighter, but the real firefighters have agreed to let me pretend for the day. So you and I are going to find out what it takes to be a firefighter and all about all the great equipment they use. So what do you say we check it out?
I like the music too for this episode.
Most firefighters live at the fire station when they're on duty. When they aren't fighting fires, they have chores to do, just like the rest of us.
When I was a kid, and I was living in Killer, Texas, the fire department came to our school. We got to climb on the fire truck, and a couple of times I got to visit the firehouse, and it was pretty cool. Have any of you checked out the firehouse where firefighters work and live? It's a unique experience, and seeing the equipment they use is quite amazing. And seeing fire trucks as a kid, I didn't know how complex they were until I watched this program. They got more buttons and switches than your typical semi or your pickup truck. It's amazing.
Well, you were asking me what it's like to be a firefighter. Firefighter Dave, well, I'll tell you what it's like. It's probably the best job in the world. I've held a number of jobs, and I've been with the fire service now for about 15 years, and I really enjoy it. We work 24-hour shifts. There's 8 of us at our station. Therefore, we have to get along. This is my second family. I have a family at home, and I have a family in the fire service.
Oh, yeah.
Our actual work day starts at 8 o'clock. We start doing what we call station and equipment maintenance. Every day we're responsible for maintaining the equipment, maintaining the station, mopping the floors, cleaning out the restrooms, washing the fire trucks, making sure all the equipment is ready to go. Because when you call 911 and we're not ready, the whole system falls apart.
That's why firefighters have to stay in top shape for situations. They could be doing anything in their firehouse. They could be cooking, they could be sleeping, they could be watching TV, doing stuff. The moment that alarm goes off and the call comes in, they gotta drop everything and get out there and get on the road. Because a few seconds can mean blah, blah, blah. A few seconds can be the difference between life and death. So I have a lot of respect for the firefighters and what they do, and God bless them, honestly.
Department of Emergency. What's the problem, ma'am? And your address? Is that a house or an apartment? And your name? And what's your phone number, Agatha? Okay, get everybody out of the house and we'll send the fire department, okay?
Dedicated 131, 135, truck 131, structure fire, 500 East Nocta, 500 East Nocta, Crossbridge, Sultana, map page 40, David.
Okay, I think that was Dave putting on his fire clothes in the bedroom. That's not accurate at all. They actually have a special part of the fire station where the equipment is kept. So all I have to do is go out there, suit up, put their boots on, and get on the rig and get going. I always thought that was pretty funny.
When an emergency call comes in, the firefighters have to be ready for action. And if you're not ready, you get left behind.
Oh, Lord. Too slow.
Well, it looks like Fireman Dave missed the fire truck. I'll just have to try to be faster next time. Firefighter.
I'm not sure how many of you out there watching are firefighters or have a parent, somebody who's in the fire service, but I want to know, did you or someone you know miss the fire truck and have have a hard time going to your first fire? Just imagine, you just got out of the academy, you're at the firehouse, you don't know what to expect, you get a call, and you're off, or you missed the fire truck. I know that's actually happened, but if it did, I feel sorry for you, but hopefully you got it right the next time. What a way to begin your program, Dave. I love it, though.
Well, it looks like Fireman Dave missed the fire truck. I'll just have to try to be faster next time. Firefighters have to be specially equipped in the clothes they wear as well in order to stay safe when fighting fires. This is firefighter Cliff, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the specialized clothing that they have to wear.
Well, firefighter Dave, let's start at the bottom of the outfit and we'll just work our way up.
All right.
You notice the boots that you have on. Those are steel-toed rubber boots. Those are to protect the firefighter's feet. You go into a burning building, a lot of times there might be nails or glass or something of that nature, so it helps protect the feet by sharp objects, and also the toes are steel in case something falls on them. Now the pants and the jacket that you're wearing are made out of a material called Nomex. Now this is a flame retardant material. It helps to reduce the flame or the heat on the uniform. Now also, you wear your helmet. It's a hard plastic. It helps to protect your head in case of things falling from the sky, that sort of thing. Now, one thing that you have to remember when you're inside a building in a fire, although we have all of this good equipment on, it's kind of a false sense of security. You get into a burning building, the temperature can get very, very hot, sometimes 1,200 degrees. With all this protective clothing on, you're not going to really feel all of that heat. That's why firefighters work on what we call the buddy system. We go into a building together, we protect each other. If I see that you're getting in trouble, or maybe you're getting too close to the fire, I can tap you on the shoulder and say, come on, firefighter Dave, let's get out, it's getting too dangerous. So that's why we wear the protective clothing that you have on, the helmet, the pants, the coat, the boots, and also our gloves. Helps us do our job a little better.
All right, I guess we're ready to go fight a fire.
You bet.
Now, a lot of the same equipment is still used today in firefighting, the materials are, but some things are a bit more advanced, like the radios they wear. They also have a special heat sensor that can sense people in a fire if you can't see through the smoke and stuff. One of my friends is a former firefighter in EMT, and he told me you do feel some of that heat, but it presses on you. Wearing the coat, the boots, the gloves, and everything, you're still going to feel some of that heat. It's like being compressed or sealed in, but you're not going to burn up right away. Well, if you're careful, you won't. And they do work on the buddy system. If you've seen news about firefighting or something like Chicago Fire, they get a few things wrong. They always go into a burning building together with their hose ready to put out the fire. It's a very serious job, and dangerous too. Another that hasn't changed much is the fire truck looking design. It's been this way since the 80s because, well, it just works. And I like it, to be honest. I've always thought it was cool how they could actually hook up all these hoses and stuff with the wire lines running through the vehicle itself. That is pretty cool. I love that. And I really want to try the firefighting outfit for myself. And hold a fire hose next and just pose for some pictures. That's a dream of mine.
Whoops. I guess I forgot to shut off the valve.
You think?
I suppose you'd like to see that again. Well, I guess being a firefighter isn't as easy as I thought. From now on, Fireman Dave is going to leave the firefighting up to the real firefighters.
Good call, Dave. Always made me laugh when I was a kid.
These big legs are put out one by one to stabilize the fire truck so the big ladder can be put in the air.
Another dream of mine has been actually to go up on one of those fire truck ladders myself. Take me all the way up in the basket and swing me around to give me a 360-degree view of what I'm looking at and just make a video. That'd be cool, I think. Sometimes I stir guts because I get excited about this stuff.
Once these support legs are in place, they keep the truck from tipping over. The firefighters prepare to raise the big ladder. The operator must be sure that there are no dangerous power lines to get in the way.
That's true.
The big ladder and basket can go 100 feet in the air.
So it doesn't quite go up to 100 feet, but you get the idea. Wow. Here comes the water. Now you see a ladder truck that's like maybe 10 stories of ladder, and you think, oh, it's fine, but once you climb it, it can tire you out getting to the top. Again, this is why I stay in top physical condition for situations like that. At the same time, too, I wonder, are they actually spraying a fire or just spraying over the camera in this scene? I wonder if they actually went on a call or not. If you guys know, tell me in the comments.
Fire truck is a real complicated machine, but in the cockpit it's pretty much like a regular truck, except there are lots of buttons and switches. I asked one of the real firefighters to show me how they work.
A fire truck works pretty much the same as a regular truck drives. We have a lot of extra buttons to deal with though, and I'm going to show you what some of those buttons do today. Up here we have buttons just like your regular truck does for lights and headlights and marker lights and those things. But then we also have over here one switch that turns on all the red lights all at the same time. I can turn off those lights individually if I want, but one switch will turn them on all at the same time when I turn that switch on. Then down here on the floorboard, we have some buttons that if I push with my foot, they will activate the siren and make the siren go. And then over here is another one for the air horn.
Now, I'm not sure if they still have that feature in fire trucks. I'm told some still do have it on the floor. I'm told some have it on the steering wheel. I'm told some have it above the windshield to activate the sirens and the air horns. If you guys know, again, tell me. I'm not too familiar with certain firefighting equipment, just a little bit. Also, I wish this guy would introduce himself. We know Dave. We know Firefighter Cliff, but who's this guy? I've often wondered.
And then we have one more thing up here. It's another kind of siren. So we have two. And this siren is the electronic siren. And we can turn this on just by turning a switch up here.
Well, if you listen close, you probably noticed that fire trucks have different kinds of sirens, and they come from different places on the fire truck. This machine has 3 different sirens. This one here is the mechanical siren. That's the main siren that you hear most of the time. And right here, this is an electronic siren. It sounds more like an ambulance siren. We use that occasionally, too. Now, these are the air horns. These are the big horns that honk to warn the cars to get out of the way.
And when you hear them coming, they are loud. They really get your attention on the call. So when you hear sirens and air horns from any emergency vehicle, fire truck, ambulance, or police car, pull over and let them pass.
This is a fire engine, and this is used for pumping water. However, we do carry a couple of ladders, and this is how we store them and where we keep them. Back here is where the firefighter sits, and that's where he rides on his way to the fire. And in this compartment, we carry our water jug, and that's so that when we're fighting a fire, we get a little dehydrated, we can have a little water. And we carry fuses and assorted tools and things in that compartment. And then here we have our, what we call our engineer's pump panel. And this is where all the gauges and valves and things are that we can make water, divert water from one discharge to another, or open up another valve to let the water come from the hydrant into the pump.
I read a book about what it takes to build a fire truck, and inside that very area is a maze of pipes and connections. It's complicated inside and out, but it's amazing how it works. It's like basically a small, I guess, water flow station, as it were. Pretty cool.
And here we carry extra air bottles. And these are the same bottles that we wear in our breathing apparatus.
I'm told blah 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 blah. I'm told the air tanks that they wear have, I think, about 5 or 10 minutes worth of oxygen on them, but it does the job right.
Back here we have the engine that drives this engine. It makes it go and makes the pump work. We also have the hose. We have our 4-inch hose, and there's enough hose here in this hose bed to go from here to about 5 blocks down the street. And on that side we have 2.5-inch hose, and there's enough hose in there to go 12 football fields long. And we use that hose to hook up to a fire hydrant and then get water from the fire hydrant to where the fire is. This is what we call a monitor. This is what we use on big fires because it can flow 1,000 gallons of water a minute. We can move it to any side of the engine we want, and it's so powerful that it can knock walls down.
One thing about the hoses I want to point out, and this is what my friend told me, is they pull them out and they can go pretty easily down the road, but trying to put them up can be a real pain because of how wet they are. You have to really force the water out before you put them back on the rig. It takes longer to clean up the seat after a fire than it does to get ready to fight a fire.
These compartments here, we keep our first aid supplies, and we use these because we go out on a lot of people who have been hurt or are sick, and this is basically what we need to take care of them.
Yep. And you know what, folks? I forgot to give the shout to the YouTuber who uploaded this, so I might be in frame for just a moment. Please bear with me. I'm shirtless, by the way. I better cover that up. Censored. Random teeter totter, or random Teto. I can't pronounce that, guys. But shout out to the YouTuber for uploading this video.
One of the most dangerous jobs being a firefighter is to work on the bomb squad. This is the vehicle that pulls the trailer that has the container that holds the bomb. Now, this is where they put the bomb if they think it might explode. This container is very, very thick, as you can see, and it's shaped in a V form, so that if the bomb does explode, it explodes up into the air and not out to the sides where it can hurt people or vehicles. The clothing that the bomb squad wears is really interesting. What do you say we take a look at that now?
I'm not sure if fire departments still have bomb squads or if they use this, but it wouldn't surprise me. I don't know if they still have that thing too, but I'm guessing some probably still use something like that. But it does make sense that something like that does explode, it goes up into the air.
This is what we call a self-containment suit or a bomb suit. When the bomb technician goes up to work on a suspected bomb, he has to have this suit on. And as you can see down here, over his boots, he has this part of the suit to protect his feet. This is real hard right here. This protects his legs, comes on up, and they're kind of like coveralls. This protects his body in case the bomb should go off. Now he wears a jacket that goes over this, and what we'll do now, we'll put the jacket on. Now this is very, very heavy. Okay, and as you can see, it fully protects him when he has this on. I'm gonna step right under here. Go ahead and put the helmet on. Okay, and he's all set to go work on a device. He's fully protected. In case anything happens, kind of looks like a spaceman.
I'll say he does. I'm not sure if the clothing's the same as it was then, but I think the bomb squad clothing's been upgraded a bit. It's a bit more protective during a device diffusion situation.
Fire boats are also used in fighting some fires. They come in all sizes and shapes.
In all my life, I've never really seen a firefighting boat before. Only in books and TV shows. They're pretty cool though. And the best part is, you don't need a water tank. Just use the water in the lake or the ocean or wherever. Cool.
The piece of equipment you see behind me is a fire truck. Its primary function is to transport men and heavy equipment to the fire scene. It carries no water, it carries no hose. All of the equipment on it is used primarily for forcible entry, for salvage, and for overhaul operations. Now we'll step a little closer, take a little closer look.
So, firefighter terminology. The truck that carries the ladder is called a fire truck, and the truck that carries the water is called a fire engine or a pumper. Or that can be called a ladder truck. That's just what I've heard.
We'll start off by taking a look at the cab. This is where the captain and the engineer ride in the fire apparatus. The engineer is the individual that drives and operates the unit. The captain, of course, is in charge of the crew. On this particular piece of equipment, we have 4 men. The captain, an engineer, and 2 firefighters. The firefighters ride back up in this area. This is known as a jump seat. As you can see, they ride facing to the rear. When we get a call, the firefighter gets on the unit. He's putting on his turnout coat, his pants, his other gear, and he's also putting on the breathing apparatus. That way, when we get to the fire scene, he's ready to go to work. He just has to step off the unit, and he's ready to go. In this particular compartment, as you can see, we've got what looks to be a large fan, which is exactly what it is. This is a gasoline-powered smoke ejector. When we go into a building that's full of smoke, we have to get the smoke out in order for the firefighter to come in and fight the fire. We do this by using these large fans. We carry 2 of these on the unit.
I meant to point out earlier, do they still have the jump seat function in some fire trucks? I wonder. When I was a kid, I was at a red light with my family, and a fire truck pulled up beside me, and they had the jump seat, and there was a firefighter sitting there. So, do some fire trucks still have the jump seat like that? Let me know, guys. Music is so nostalgic, guys.
This is the compartment that contains the levers that operate our outriggers and that we can raise and lower the ladder with. Behind this sheet up here is where we keep all of our ladders. All the ladders, in fact, you can see it just on buttons. We've got all of our ladders, 16, 20 foot, and the big 40 footer. Over on this side, we have another 16, another 20, and a 35 foot. Also in this compartment, and they're kind of hard to see, but if you look real close, back up in here, we have what we call pike poles. Long poles with a hook on the end. We use those poles to pull down ceilings inside a building if we need to get up into the attic area.
So it looks like they opened up a few more compartments and doors in the fire truck itself, but I'm wondering, what did we miss? What was cut from this program? There's probably some lost scenes from these out there somewhere, and I think they should release them on a special Real Wheels DVD if they ever do. I've seen the bloopers for this, for like all the episodes they made, but where's the lead scenes, guys? Bring them back! And it just goes to show that sometimes to get into a building, you don't need the bucket on the ladder truck, you can use a smaller ladder too.
Okay, I'm now up in the basket of the unit. As we told you previously, this will go 100 feet in the air. You see this big red thing here? That's a nozzle. There's basically no difference between this nozzle and the nozzle you have at home on your garden hose. The only difference is this nozzle just a little bit bigger. Works on the same principle. We can flow at maximum gallonage, 1,000 gallons a minute, through this nozzle. And all you have to do to operate it is just to turn it like this, and you get a wide pattern, or you can get a very sharp, definite pattern. By turning this wheel, you can rotate it from left or right. By loosening it up, as you can see, up and down. This piece of equipment is used primarily for large fires. A large building where we need to get up above the fire, shoot water down on it to literally drown out the fire.
Pretty cool.
Another important piece of equipment used to fight fires is the helicopter. It helps with rescues, in moving equipment, and it can also carry small amounts of water.
They also have firefighting airplanes that can land on rivers, suck up the water, and go port over a forest fire. And some helicopters even carry buckets. And yes, they can use your swimming pool in your backyard too if need be.
This is a big one. There are many different kinds of firefighting vehicles. This is an airport fire truck, and as you can see, not all firefighting vehicles come in the color red. This is one of the biggest firefighting trucks. It's yellow. It costs almost $500,000, and it's for fighting some very special kinds of fires.
Folks, I'm going to pause the video for just a sec. I'm going to go check on my sweetheart and see how he's doing. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. Let's continue. Airport fire trucks. These are pretty cool. They've changed quite a bit too over the years.
Hi, I'm Mike Strauss. I'm with Ontario Airport Fire Department, and today you're looking at one of the biggest trucks in the fire service today. This particular vehicle is specifically designed to fight airport firefighting. What that means is if there's a plane crash, we'll go ahead and take this truck out and we'll squirt water on it. It's specifically designed to fight airport fires. And what we have here on the front are what we call tube turrets. And what they do is they just squirt water out of them from here and here. The top one there squirts water out at a rate of about 1,200 gallons a minute, and that's about 15 to 20 bathtubs full of water a minute. And the bottom one squirts out at a little bit lower rate of about 500 gallons a minute.
Whoa.
What also comes out of the water is what we call foam. Like if you take like a bubble bath, you have like foam sitting on top of the water, and that's what comes out of this as well. Okay, now we're inside the cab, and we wear these headphones so we can communicate with the tower, which tells us if there's a plane coming our way or not, and to communicate with other firefighters and other fire trucks. And inside the cab, we control most of our firefighting by what we call joysticks, and they're just like a basic video game at your video stores or whatever. And you can control most of your firefighting, the turrets that I showed you earlier, by moving the joystick back and forth, and it'll squirt water whichever way you turn it. And everything in here is basically just like driving a regular car. You've got your gas pedal, and you've got your brake pedal, and then you've got your gear shift, steering wheel, and horn.
So I've always wondered, why can't we use foam to fight every single fire that's out there? Here's the answer. Firefighting foam is very expensive. And if we were to have firefighting foam with the regular water and fire hydrants on every city street, that would raise the tax dollars and the money that people are paying for things right now. That's why we use water. It's ridiculous, but unfortunately that's how it is. Because airline companies and airports are big businesses, they're able to afford this stuff. Plus, foam would smother and drown a fire if it was used. Stuff like this, though, should be free when it comes to saving lives, I think. It's ridiculous.
Different types of firefighters use different types of protective equipment. As you can see, I've got a yellow coat on, and you guys here at the airport wear silver coats.
Right, they're basically designed for the same thing, to protect you when you go into a fire. The reason why they're aluminized is to reflect the heat a little bit more than the standard Nomex firefighting, and they're a little bit heavier. They're aluminized suits, so they're a little heavier, and they're able to retain a little more heat, reflect a little more heat, because at a fire, when it burns close to 2,000 degrees, the fuel itself. So it enables us a little more time to be able to fight the fire real close at hand. And what we have down here are just basically the same thing with pants, and everybody has the regular fireman boots. And, well, here's a question for you, Dave. Do you know why firemen have red suspenders?
I have no idea.
To hold up their pants.
That's a corny joke, but I love it. So which would you guys want to go down if you're a firefighter? A slide or a fireman's pole? I take the slide. It looks a lot more fun, to be honest. Same from the beginning, but slow down. When I was a kid, though, I'd go to the playground and slide down the pole all the time. They're pretty heavy, so I don't think I could do it, but still, it looks like fun. That siren sounds European. Yeah, it's alright, I guess. The airplane's not on fire, but I think you guys get the idea.
Safety ready?
At this training facility, future firefighters are learning the skills that they will need to properly and safely do their job.
Those ladders are big. Even though they're in training, it will get them ready. The thing is, though, they can go a bit slower, getting used to the equipment and putting it on. But you really gotta be faster during an emergency situation. Just imagine doing that. It takes a lot getting used to. You gotta be quick and be on your feet.
Ontario Mitigation 131 will be establishing command at a 3-story industrial building. We have smoke and flame showing. All units code 3. This is a condition B fire. My command post to be located in front of the building to the west. Truck 131, please come in and take utilities and ventilation. They're laying the line.
Experienced firefighters have to keep up their skills as well. This is a practice facility where they start the fires themselves and then practice by putting them out. Even putting out practice fires is dangerous business.
Training or real life, firefighting is a serious, dangerous job. They even use chainsaws. Now to you guys, it looks like an okay place to be, but no way. With all that smoke and fire, it is dangerous. The smoke is more killing than the flames, by the way. I don't know if you could get away with getting that close today to a firefighting scene for a kids film, but I mean, look at that. The camera got close to the flames, it got close to the smoke. I guess they had to do some coordinating, and the camera crew probably had to wear firefighting gear as well. But it's amazing for a 1993. I'm impressed.
Primary statement we can make to kids: don't play with matches. Fire is our friend, but it's also our enemy. You don't want to mess with fire in any way, shape, or form. Lighters, matches, leave those in the hands of adults. If you have a fire in your home, leave your house. You saw how rapidly this fire built up and intensified. If you're a civilian inside a home, we went in with protective clothing, protective breathing apparatus. You can see the temperatures. I melted the shield on my helmet. So that's the kind of temperature. Without these protective clothing, you would die almost right away. Get out of the house, go to a neighbor, call the fire department from a neighbor's house, call 911 in most areas. Advise them of the location of the fire. Do not hang up the phone until instructed to do so by a dispatcher. Give us the description, the type of call, the type of fire that you have, and if you can, on our arrival, let us know if everyone's outside of the home. You can have a meeting place where all the family members can meet, say at the end of a driveway, on the sidewalk, something to that effect. That helps us. Then we know if the father or mother are there saying, I've got all my kids outside, we know it's just a structure fire with no lives threatened. Our firefighters don't have to take undue risks. We don't want to hurt firefighters, we don't want to lose civilians.
So yeah, practice fire drills at your house. Make sure you have a safety plan, an evacuation plan. Keep fire extinguishers on hand. And please don't play with matches or lighters to start fires. Don't play with fire. It is our friend but our enemy. It can be used for things like cooking, lighting candles, boiler work. But if you play with it, it can spiral out of control pretty darn quick. So make a plan in case something happens for your safety, guys.
Oh, hi. Listen, I'm a little embarrassed. This firefighting thing didn't really work out the way Fireman Dave had planned, even though I was just pretending. But they've put me to work, and they tell me if I do real well at this, I can polish the truck tomorrow. And remember, kids, fire is serious business. Don't play with fire.
Credits? And that's how you contact them. A preview after this, and then I'll get my final thoughts.
Hi kids, I'm Construction Foreman Dave. I'm Firefighter Dave. I'm Pilot Dave. I'm Truck Driver Dave.
And I'm Truck Driver Becky.
I'm Engineer Dave. I'm Deputy Dave.
And I'm Deputy Becky.
Join us as we explore all sorts of fun stuff and get in all sorts of trouble.
And remember, we're reviewing everything, guys.
Live action video for kids.
Get in on the action and collect the whole series.
In There Goes an Airplane, we'll fly all kinds of airplanes.
This is one of the biggest airplanes in the whole world.
I had There Goes an Airplane on videotape when I was a kid.
In There Goes a Fire Truck, we'll see what it takes to be a real firefighter.
Firefighters have to be specially equipped in the clothes they wear as well in order to stay safe when fighting fires.
There's nothing else like it in the whole world, so get in on the action now. In There Goes a Bulldozer, we'll actually drive some of the biggest machines in the world.
It's like a great big shark's jaw. What it does is it bites down on the rocks and then crunches them into smaller pieces so that they can be recycled. He told me not to touch one of these.
Uh-oh.
I shouldn't have done that.
In There Goes a Truck, we'll learn all about big rigs.
The fuel goes into the engine, it explodes and drives the pistons up and down. Bang, 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 bang. Wait a minute. You're supposed to lift me. Wait, it's hooked on me.
In There Goes a Train, it's all aboard for fun.
I used to rent that one all the time from the
As you
library.
can see, these engines are really big.
In There Goes a Police Car, we'll learn all about police work and the neat equipment they use.
I had that one on video too when I was a kid.
Live action video. It's big, it's exciting, and it's lots of fun.
Hey kids, if you like the action you just saw, you're going to want to collect the whole live action video series.
Coming soon, There Goes a Spaceship. There Goes a Race Car. There Goes a Vote. And lots more.
247 David, come in for a call. 247 David, dispatch.
Stay out of time.
So what are my final thoughts? Well, this really makes me feel nostalgic seeing this again. And also I forgot to point out a few things about Reel Wheels. If you bought the videotape copies or rented them, you notice that the front showed a vehicle, but you may have seen it in the program. And the back showed another photograph from the program. Well, 3 pictures. 2 of them were in the program, but 1 was not. I always found that interesting. And also a bit later in the series, Dave will have a partner named Becky Borg. You'll see her in her first appearance in There Goes a Police Car, and she was on for a number of years, or episodes. And then for 3 programs, a different Dave comes in and takes over because apparently Dave is taking a break. But then Dave makes a return to finish out the series. I think you should have kept Becky because they seem to have a pretty dynamic duo together, and it was funny seeing both of them. So this series, guys, really spoke to me in a lot of ways as a kid, and it still does today. There Goes a Fire Truck. What can I say about it? Well, it's still pretty cool. It's not quite up to date because firefighting has changed a lot over the years. But a lot of what was used in it is still used today, like the vehicles and the clothing and the equipment they use. It's still one of my favorites of all time. And to all the firefighters watching out there, thank you guys for what you do so much, and God bless all of you. I do appreciate you so much knowing that you're out there in case I need y'all. Thankfully, I've never had to call 911 for an emergency, and I hope I never do, God forbid. I still like this program after all these years. It's something I hope I will never outgrow, even when I'm old in my 60s. Right now I'm 34, at the making of the time this program is being made. But either way, I hope you guys liked seeing this as much as I did. What are your thoughts on this program? Did you watch it when you were a kid? Did you enjoy it? And did you learn a lot like I did? And also about the preview. There's another preview version you're going to see later on in the series as well. I'm not always going to show the previews at the end because, well, they're all pretty much the same. Anyway, until next time, I hope you enjoyed this. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Please be safe around trains. And remember, the good Lord loves all of you. Happy rails, guys, and I'll see y'all next time. Stay tuned for the next video when we look at There Goes a Bulldozer.